My name is Kendra Krins. I'm originally from Kinginick, Alaska. I work as a Community Development Coordinator for Association of Village Council of Presidents, AVCP. AVCP is working with our YK partners to update the Yukon-Kuskokwim Comprehensive Economic Development Strategy, CEDS. Together, we are working in the best interest of YK tribes and communities to review and evaluate effective strategies for building resilient YK communities. We would like to thank our technical assistance provider, Agnew Beck Consulting, for their diligent work over the years. They are assisting YK partners with improving conditions for the region through the YK CEDS update, and will help plan and facilitate the third YK Regional Economic Summit this August. I would like to introduce Agnew Beck Program Manager Shelley Wade to share more about CEDS purpose, process, and how you can provide feedback on this draft CEDS.
Hi everyone, I'm Shelley Wade with Agnew Beck Consulting, and thank you so much, Kendra, for that introduction. We are excited and very honored, as always, to work with the YK region, communities, tribes, villages, corporations and businesses and individuals. It's very much an honor to provide this presentation to you today. So we are here to share with you a virtual community presentation, and we do need to mention that this project is funded through a U.S. Economic Development Administration grant, and that grant currently resides with the Association of Village Council Presidents. We want to first talk about what is a CEDS, what is a comprehensive economic development strategy. The CEDS is a document or a report or plan that identifies ways to do multiple things: to support businesses, to create more jobs, improve quality of life, and increase resilience to changes and threats. So it could include things like what we are all currently experiencing with COVID-19, provides an opportunity to adapt and adjust to changing environments. The YK region, as defined by the CEDS, includes 2 census areas. So you can see those here on the map, the Kuselvac census area and also the Bethel census area. So in that total YK region, that includes 56 tribes and 48 communities. Wanted to talk a little bit now about how to build a stronger regional economy and what we are really talking about when we say economic development. So economic development, or really building a stronger economy, includes increasing sources of wealth. So it provides a real focus on producing something that other regions or places need or want that's really produced from the region. That could include things like tourism, fishing, arts and crafts, and mining. It is also about keeping wealth in the region. So that what is very important about that is supporting a mix, or the right mix, of local businesses and services to provide services directly to residents in the region and also to folks that visit. So that could include lodging, arts and crafts, fuel, mechanics, city services, and others. And then it is certainly, building a strong economy is certainly also about reducing wealth that's leaving the region. So that could include things like trips to Anchorage or shopping on Amazon or transportation costs. So things that bring or take money out of the region. So this combination of factors of increasing sources of wealth that come from outside, keeping wealth in the region, and reducing wealth that leaves the region help to build a stronger regional economy. So why is this important? Why is the CEDS process important? It's important for several reasons. It provides a tool for economic planning and community planning. It is an opportunity for organizations, businesses, and communities in the region to work together as a team to collaborate. It also sends a message to organizations or agencies like the U.S. Economic Development Administration and other federal, state, or other funders that communicates the region's priorities. And this also provides, as I mentioned earlier, an opportunity to really increase regional resiliency. So again, this is a tool for preventing and recovering from economic, environmental, or other changes that happen. So an example of how communities in the region have successfully used the CEDS, we have at least two that we wanted to share with you today. And as noted below, both of these are identified as priorities in the 2018 to 2023 CEDS. So we wanted to share just examples of how projects have been funded and prioritized in the CEDS and at the community and regional level. So you can see here an example of the airframe and power plant school that UTE recently opened, and then a DOT funded project, a significant project for a dock and barge landing in Emonic. So the process would not be successful without the contributions and participation of a number of stakeholders, the most important of which, of course, is the residents, communities, and tribes of the YK. And then we do have a representative group of individuals that sit on something called the CEDS Committee. And that group of individuals come from all over the regions, representing different sectors and different communities and subregions. Those individuals help to contribute to the content of the CEDS, the prioritization, and most importantly, the implementation. So there's a CEDS committee and then several working groups that work together to implement the CEDS. So you can see those here. Examples are infrastructure, education, workforce development, subsistence as all important work that needs to happen as a part of CEDS implementation. And then you can see on the left a group of core team individuals that are working behind the scenes to coordinate and collaborate and work together towards a successful CEDS. So we wanted to talk today about the annual update, and Kendra mentioned this in her introduction, that the annual update is currently out for a 30-day comment period. And really, this is an update to the 5-year CEDS. So there's currently a 2018 to 2023 YK region CEDS that was completed early in the summer of 2018. And we are required, the region is required, and ABCP as the grant holder is required to update the CEDS on an annual basis. So we are currently updating the CEDS. In the 2018 to 2023 version of the CEDS, there is a regional economic vision, and you can see that vision here that says a strong, innovative, self-reliant Yukon-Kuskokwim economy supported by our resilient culture and regional collaboration. That vision equals the big picture, sort of long-term idea of where the region, where communities, tribes, and residents would like to go with the CEDS. The CEDS also includes several key and important big picture goals. So you can see here several goals related to developing and educating and training a regional workforce, so really growing your own locally and a group of future leaders. Housing, really addressing a critical need in the region of housing, of course, supporting and growing local business development and entrepreneurship, and expanding in regional communications, energy, and transportation infrastructure. So these are the big picture goals, of which there are several strategies and actions. The additional goals include, of course, a focus on health, wellness, and safety, which is really at the tops of all of our minds right now. And it's also about resiliency and prepared communities. So as we have environmental threats from climate change and others, how are our communities prepared? This is also about subsistence and natural resource harvest, and a focus on what is most important in terms of values and subsistence values and needs in the region. And then finally, it's about coordinating and working together. As I mentioned earlier, this would not be successful without the partners working together. So the annual update, again, was released on March 26th, and it is out for a 30-day comment period. You can check out the CEDS on ABCP's brand new website. So there is the link here. We will also share our contact information. So if you're having a hard time connecting and getting the draft online, we can certainly help you find it. So what's in the annual update? So we have gone through a process working with the CEDS committee and other regional partners to identify indicators, which basically are tools for understanding where we are today and how much progress we're making as we implement the CEDS. So if we have an indicator for the number of houses constructed in the region, for example, and then we would track that progress over years by using a housing indicator. The annual update also includes a celebration of all the accomplishments and progress that have happened since last year. And then critical and important are priority strategies and actions for 2020. And we want to share just a couple of examples of some of those priority strategies. So here you can see we have an economic development focused strategy that's about promoting commercial and export opportunities and some examples of those. We have an education and workforce development focused priority strategy, and that's about really growing the region's aviation workforce. We have an energy focused potential priority, and that is expanding energy infrastructure and increasing the use of renewable energy in the region. And we also have an infrastructure focused potential priority of prioritizing and implementing the regional transportation projects that have been identified over the years as priorities. You can see some examples here, including the YK Freight Corridor, Bethel City, and Bethel City dock upgrades. This is just a small sampling. There are approximately 15 potential priority strategies that are in the annual update. We could not do this presentation today without acknowledging that we are all experiencing a really unique time in our history. And so as a state, as a region, as a nation, and certainly worldwide, we recognize that there is a lot of uncertainty due to COVID-19. So certainly we can't ignore that in the development of the final CEDS. So the final CEDS will include a COVID-19 related strategy that helps us think about potential impacts of the outbreak to local businesses and to the region as a whole, and then also about the opportunities that are presented as a result of this current outbreak. So we'll have an opportunity in the final update to incorporate and consider strategies related to COVID-19. So we really want your feedback. We need to hear from you. Again, the CEDS, the final CEDS, and the implementation of the CEDS will only be successful with your feedback and participation. So we want to know, as we're developing and sharing that draft annual update with you, and it's out for public comment, what comments, questions, or concerns do you have? What might be missing? So what are some of the strategies that are missing from that list of potential priorities? And which of those strategies do you think are the most important to accomplish over the next year? So we really are excited to hear from you, especially about some of those priority strategies and which you think are the most important. So we are doing and launching a survey, and we're excited to offer and make folks eligible that respond to the survey the opportunity to win one of 5 $100 Amazon gift cards. So we would love to get your feedback on what do you think are the top priority strategies, and we also want any other comments or feedback that you have for us. So here you can see a link to the survey. We'll also share this widely on Facebook and on the website that I mentioned earlier. And you can also certainly contact and call us if you have specific questions. So the schedule, again, we released the CEDS, the draft annual CEDS update back on March 26th. Comments are due to us by April 26th. And so we know time is short, and so we're excited to get your input. The final CEDS is due to the Economic Development Administration by May 1st, but our work is not over after that. A critical next step is implementation of the CEDS. And so as you can see here, again, that requires the contributions and participation of residents, communities, and tribes, most importantly, including a CEDS committee and these working groups that will really take each of those priority strategies, for example, like the workforce development strategy about growing an aviation workforce. Potentially that education workforce development working group would take that strategy and develop an action plan for how to be successful at growing that aviation workforce. So last, we just wanted to share our contact information. So Clarence Daniel, who is direct supervisor to Kendra, who's part of our team. He is also the director of the Community Development Division. You can see Clarence's contact information. He's also my boss. So he is helping to lead this effort. And so my boss, as I am a consultant and a contractor, to ABCP, working with YK Partners to complete this effort. So there's my contact information as well. So we're excited to hear from you and look forward to your feedback. And I'll just come back to the survey and strongly encourage you to participate in the survey. And we look forward to your feedback. And of course, please, everyone, stay safe and healthy and take care. And we'll talk with you soon. Thank you so much.